Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus paid rich tribute to the late Pope Francis at St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City. Dhaka South City Corporation kicks off mosquito control and special cleaning drive with slogan "Keep your own yard tidy, build a clean city." Shahidi rally in capital demands ban on Awami League and trial of July upsurge, genocide, Pilkhana and Shafla Chattur killings. Vegetable price up in kitchen market while price of potato, lentil, sugar and kitchen went down. Israeli strike kills 60 Palestinians in Gaza, 12 from same family killed in Jabalia. Pakistan suspends 1972 Shimla Agreement with India. UN Secretary General calls for maximum restraint to both the countries. Qatar Foundation has assured cooperation in construction of separate dormitory and gymnasium for female sportspersons, saying female sportsters returning from Doha. Assalamu alaikum viewers, I'm Tanzila Manar Sultana welcoming you all to news at 10. You have just heard the headlines. Now moving on to news in details. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus paid rich tribute to Pope Francis at St. Peter's Basilica at Vatican City in Rome today. Tomorrow, the Chief Advisor will visit St. Peter's Square to attend the funeral mass of His Holiness Pope Francis. Cardinal Mauro Gambetti, Vicar General of Vatican City, will receive the Chief Advisor and the Bangladesh delegation. Earlier, Professor Yunus reached Rome from Doha to attend the funeral. He visited Doha to attend Earthna Summit held on April 22 to 23. Over 100 delegations from around the world have arrived Rome today to pay their respect to the late Pope Francis, who passed away last Monday at the age of 88. The late Pope Francis was the big admirer of the Professor Muhammad Yunus's work for the marginalized people across the globe and his vision for a 3-0 work where there will be no unemployment, no poverty and zero carbon emission. The Vatican also launched a joint 3-0 initiative in Rome with the 2006 Nobel Peace Laureate. Dear viewers, Pope Francis On the occasion of World Earth Day, Dhanmondi Thana Jubodol organized an environment conservation and cleanliness program with the slogan, "Do not throw garbage everywhere, clean Dhanmondi Gari." Barrister Nasiruddin Ahmed Ashim, International Affairs Secretary of the BNP's National Executive Committee, was present as the chief guest. Leaders and activists were present at the program held at Dhanmondi Lake Park in the capital in the morning. The prices of vegetables, eggs, rice, onions and edible oil continue to rise, while the prices of potatoes, lentils, sugar and chicken have declined in the market. Over the past 3 to 4 months, general consumers have experienced a decline flow, but now most vegetables in the market are now priced above 70 taka per kilogram. Potatoes, however, remain relatively affordable. Compared to the same period last year, vegetable prices are still slightly lower, as back then most vegetables were priced above 80 taka. According to sellers, the current batch of vegetables has a slightly higher production cost, prompting farmers to charge more. Vegetable prices were significantly low during the last winter season, which caused farmers to incur losses. As a result, they are now trying to recover by selling at slightly higher prices. In this context, the relatively controlled market conditions during Ramadan have raised public expectations. Consumers are now demanding stronger measures to ensure adequate supply and reasonable prices of essential commodities ahead of the upcoming Eid al-Adha. Inqilab Mancho has organized a Shahidi rally at Shahbag in the capital today, demanding ban on Awami League for its involvement in July uprising, genocide, Pilkhana and Shapla Chattor massacres. Speakers at the rally said that the Awami League needs to be banned by executive order and must be barred finally through the judicial process. They further said that there can be no rehabilitation of Awami League in this country. Those who want to rehabilitate them, they will also have no place in this country. And rallies will have to be organized to ban Awami League in the post-24 country, the speakers pointed out. Inqilab Mancho spokesperson Sharif Osman Hadi and like-minded political parties supporting July-August movement, along with the families of the victims and the injured in the mass uprising, attended the rally. Battery-powered rickshaws are dominating the streets of Dhaka from narrow alleys to main roads. Over the past few years, their uncontrolled operation has not only increased public sufferings but also raised serious safety concerns. In several incidents, chaos has been caused by drivers' carelessness or the inability to control the speed of the rickshaws. Security concerns have particularly emerged regarding elite residential areas and foreign nationals. Despite repeated efforts by the authorities to restrict the entry of rickshaws and auto rickshaws onto the city's major roads, these attempts have repeatedly failed. Various physical barriers have been deployed to curb the unregulated movement of rickshaws, but to no avail. In light of this, the interim government is now seeking alternative solutions. A joint meeting between Dhaka South City Corporation, the Gulshan Society and the Police Administration discussed a new plan regarding what recommended battery-powered rickshaws. This new model will feature foot-operated brakes, fixed speed limits and an advanced motor control system. Similar to driving licenses, drivers will require approval based on the recommendations of a technical committee. International news. Pakistan Senate today unanimously passed a resolution against India's attempt to link Islamabad to the deadly attack in India-held Kashmir earlier this week. The attack took place in Pahalgam, a tourist hotspot in India-occupied Kashmir that draws thousands of visitors every summer. Gunmen opened fire on visitors, killing at least 26 people, all men from across India except one from Nepal, and injuring 17 others. During a meeting of the National Security Committee (NSC) in Islamabad a day earlier, the committee called on India to refrain from its reflexive blame game and cynical, staged managed exploitation of incidents like Pahalgam to further its narrow political agenda. Pakistan made the retaliatory decisions during a meeting of the National Security Committee (NSC) in Islamabad yesterday, convened to formulate a response to India. Chaired by Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, the meeting was attended by top government and military officials, including the Defence Minister, Foreign Minister, Interior Minister, National Security Advisor, and the Chiefs of Armed Forces, among others. According to a statement issued by the Prime Minister's office, Pakistan shall exercise the right to hold all bilateral agreements with India, including but not limited to Shimla Agreement in abeyance till India desists from its manifested behavior of fomenting terrorism inside Pakistan, transnational killings and non-adherence to international law and UN resolutions on Kashmir. More than 60 people have been reportedly killed in Gaza since early on Thursday, and casualties continue to mount as Israel carries out early morning attacks on the Palestinian territory. The Palestinian Civil Defense and Medics said 12 people from the Sim family in North Gaza's Jabalia were among those killed in the Israeli attacks. The Health Ministry in Gaza reports that about 2,000 people have now been killed and 5,207 injured since Israel broke its ceasefire with Hamas on March 18, 2025. At least 51,355 Palestinians have been confirmed killed and 1,17,248 wounded in Israel's war on Gaza since it began 18 months ago. The Gaza government media office updated its death toll to more than 61,700, saying thousands of people missing under the Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says Moscow is ready to reach a deal with the US to end the war, although some elements need to be fine-tuned. The President of the United States believes, and I think rightly so, that we are moving in the right direction, he tells CBS, the BBC's US partner. In Ukraine, the mayor of Kiev, Vitaly Klitschko, has suggested the country may have to give away territory as part of any peace deal. 3 people have been killed, including a child and a 76-year-old woman, in the latest Russian drone strike on Ukraine. The mayor of Kiev, Vitaly Klitschko, has told the BBC that Ukraine may have to give up land as part of a peace deal with Russia amid a growing pressure from President Donald Trump to accept territorial concessions. Now moving on to news on weather. Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said rain or thunder showers with lightning flashes and temporary gusty wind is likely to occur at 1 or 2 places over Mymensingh and Sylhet divisions. Besides, weather may remain mainly dry with temporary partly cloudy sky elsewhere over the country. Night and day temperature. After a state visit to Qatar along with Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus, 4 women cricketers and footballers informed this to newsmen in Dhaka today. This is for the first time in history that the women cricketers and footballers went on a state visit. They are cricketers Sumaya Akhtar and Sharmeen Sultana. The footballers are Afida Khonkar and Shaheda Akhtar Ripa. Accompanying the Chief Advisor at Arthana conference in Qatar, the Bangladeshi players visited of Qatar. The players invited CEO of Qatar Foundation Sheikh Hind bint Hamad Al Thani to visit Bangladesh. They also urged the Qatar Foundation CEO to extend cooperation in various sports and games, including cricket and football. Chief Advisor's Deputy Press Secretary Abul Kalam Azad Mojumdar stated that Bangladesh has multifaceted relationships with Qatar. More avenues of cooperation ushered in the sports arena as the players were included in the visit, he added. Qatar Foundation mainly work with the women. It was informed in the press conference that not only cricket and football, but players of other disciplines would also get scope to be included in state visit in future. Defending champions Bangladesh lost to Oman by 5-4 goals in the semi-finals of the AHF Cup hockey tournament in Jakarta today. This meant that four-time champions Bangladesh, who have been champions since 2008, were eliminated from the last four. Bangladesh could not fight back in the match held at the GB hockey field in Indonesia. Instead, Oman was ahead in the attack. Ashraful Islam, Ubaidul Joy and Suhanur Rahman Shobuj scored goal for Bangladesh. On the other hand, Alias Al-Nofel and Al-Fazal Rashad scored a brace for Oman. Fahad Al-Lati scored one goal. The Asia Cup will be held in Rajgir, India next August, where Oman and Chinese Taipei have got a chance from this tournament. Bangladesh will now have to play for third place. To end the bulletin, headlines once again. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus paid rich tribute to the late Pope Francis at St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City. Dhaka South City Corporation kicks off mosquito control and special cleaning drive with slogan, "Keep your own yard tidy, build a clean city." Shahidi rally in capital demands ban on Awami League and trial of July absurd genocide, Pilkhana and Shapla Chottur killings. Vegetable price up in kitchen market while price of potato, lentil, sugar and chicken went down. Israeli strike kills 60 Palestinians in Gaza, 12 from same family killed in Jabalia. Pakistan suspends 1972 Shimla Agreement with India. UN Secretary General calls for maximum restraint to both the countries. Qatar Foundation has assured cooperation in construction of separate dormitory and gymnasium for female sportspersons, says female sports stars returning from Doha. And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us, and we invite you all to watch our next Bangla News at midnight. Until then, Allah Hafiz.